Paranormal beings can be violent and harm the living. Sometimes it's the terrifying result of the animal world and the spirit world colliding.
Paranormal Survivor, Hound from Hell, interview with Melanie, take one.
When I first moved into the house, it was very quiet. It was a warm house. It was beautiful. Everything was perfect. It was just me and my dog, Sophie. At the time I was dating a man. He didn't live with me yet, but our plan for the future was that he will come and move in the house. Because of my work as an instructor, I had to go away a few times a year.
Hi, I'm home.
I had to put the dog in the kennel.
You guys are back.
I have a surprise for you. I'll be right back.
There was one dog in one of the enclosures. I was really drawn to her. I don't know why I was so obsessed with her, but I just felt she didn't belong there and that she was my dog.
What?
When I brought Brooke home, I had no idea what I was getting into.
No, she's ours.
What at first seemed like a welcome addition to the home would turn into a nightmare.
When I first brought Brooke home, she had no interest in interacting with anybody. She will go hide either on my bed or the couch, and she will just stay there.
Brooke.
She would be scared. She won't come out.
Here you are. It's okay.
She will shake, be afraid all the time.
There's nothing wrong. Come on.
A few times she will just lay on my bed and just start growling. Brooke will just stare at the closet, just growl.
What's wrong?
I don't know what she was seeing, what was making her so afraid.
Pets may start to act very strangely. If there's paranormal activity in the home, they might start to look in a certain corner of the room and there's nothing there. They may start barking, they may start growling, and there's nothing there. Spirits will try to get the attention of the pets in the home in order to get the attention of the humans, because it's easier for them to connect.
Brooke never stopped barking at the closet. I figured that Brooke was scared because it's a new environment. She was scared to be in my house.
The strange feeling in the house soon escalated into something far more sinister.
As we're laying down in bed, I had that eerie feeling that something was just looking at me, that something was just staring down at me. As I looked up, I see that creature. And it was just looking down at me. I froze, then I screamed for Todd. I told him, look up. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? It looked like some kind of gargoyle, like a demon. And we're both seeing it. That's when I knew, oh my goodness, this is real.
What are you doing in here? I command you to leave!
He just stood up and confronted it, like loud.
Get out of here!
He said, in the name of Jesus Christ, you get away from this house. And the creature just turned away. From that point on, I was petrified of the creature.
The strange activity in the house took its toll on Melanie's relationship.
So after everything that happened, me and Todd kind of parted our way. After Todd left, I realized that Todd was the one keeping the creature at bay. Because after Todd left, just Sorry. It just got really, really bad. Sorry. As soon as Todd was out of my life, I knew the presence was there in the house. It was so strong. Always right behind me and just creeping and following you everywhere you go. It doesn't matter where I turn, how fast I turn, just follow. I could hear it yell inside my head. It was a constant yelling.
Melanie could not escape the ominous feeling of being watched.
At this point, stuff had already been happening for a few weeks. I knew there was something in the house. I had that very uncomfortable feeling, especially when you're so vulnerable, naked in the shower. Just knowing this thing was looking at me in my most vulnerable time. As I was thinking, okay, Melanie, it's just hurry up, get out.
Melanie Morissette was being haunted by a spirit in her own home.
I knew something was just looking at me.
But the ghostly activity would soon become more brazen and more sinister.
I saw a man in the shower and I screamed. I was so scared. But then nothing was there.
Melanie hoped the frightening disturbances would die down. But her hope was in vain.
Brooke started growling. Obviously, she was getting scared. I could feel the energy changing. Then it just started grabbing the sheet at my feet and just started pulling. But it wouldn't let go. It just kept tugging, dragging the sheets inch by inch off of me. I was scared. I was very afraid. Just kept thinking, why? Like there's one thing after the other and it just didn't stop.
The activity became so bad, Melanie feared for her own safety.
As I'm walking to the stairs, something pushed me. Pushed me so hard that I flew down the stairs. It scared the living hell out of me. I was so afraid. I just cried and I cried. Like, I felt so... I found myself in a nightmare I just didn't know how to get out of. I just started yelling at him. What do you want from me? Why me? I didn't feel safe. This has to stop.
Melanie sought help and contacted psychic medium ᴸᴺᴬᵗᵛ.
My main concern was that she felt she was in danger physically. Pretty much from the moment I went in, the sensation of being watched was there, but it was more the sensation of someone who was spying on you. There was anger to it instantly.
Lori didn't have to wait long to encounter the spirit for herself.
The energy just shifted. It felt like someone rushing at me. I became aware of a male in the home, an older gentleman, just yelling and ranting about his dog.
Stay away from my dog.
And he was using profanities. Why the bleep do you have my dog? He was like right in my face.
You get the away from my dog.
Using her psychic talents, Lori was able to determine that the spirit was called Mr. Smith.
And then everything became just so clear. Because I knew that Mr. Smith was Brooke's first owner.
The dog is mine.
Now I knew who he was. That was the first light of hope I had in so long, because now I knew who I was up against.
All he was focused on was the dog, his dog, that Melanie had recently adopted. But he kept saying, my dog, it's my dog. Before Mr. Smith passed, he had made his wife promise that she wouldn't give his dog away, that she would take care of it always. The dog appeared to be his pride and joy.
Oh, you're such a baby.
Apparently, immediately after he passed, she gave the dog away. She put it up for adoption.
In his mind, he thought that I took the dog from his wife and I had no rights to have the dog with me.
Mr. Smith, I have some bad news for you.
I tried to communicate to the spirit that he had actually passed on and that his dog had been put up for adoption.
Melanie adopted your dog. You don't have to worry anymore.
Then he shifted his anger, like he wasn't mad at me anymore.
Take care of my dog, please.
He seemed to come to peace rather quickly. It's like the light bulb went on and he understood and he started to calm down.
It was very emotional. I know he loved her dog very much, and I know Brooke loved him very much too. Once he'd made his peace, he simply disappeared backwards into a beautiful white light crossing through. The change in the house was almost immediate.
He's gone. Thank you.
Everything was just calm.
The house just became the way it was when I first moved in. But the biggest change came from Brooke. She was not hiding. She wasn't scared. Like, it was so wonderful to see. She was the dog she was meant to be.